Hello everyone, ex-Bethelite here. Let's discuss Watchtower's structure versus the structure that most churches have. We're going to get into one specific point, and that is Sunday school. Most churches have Sunday school. It is a course of religious training, but it is not the ultimate course of religious training. It's oftentimes before church. If church starts at 10, Sunday school oftentimes starts at 9 or 9:30. And maybe because of that, sometimes you have some of the younger people that may not attend. They may think it's too early, or they may think it's not necessary or required for them to attend Sunday school. So they may just attend the service that they have from that particular pastor or whoever. Now, the benefit that they have is that they have Sunday school here if they want it. But if they don't, they also have a pastor who has attended seminary and higher training to be able to give the sermon, to be able to talk with them, counsel with them, so on and so forth. It's the same similar situation with the Catholic Church. They have different forms of religious instruction. They have what is called RCIA, I believe, which is just really a basic instruction course. However, their priest normally has been through college. He's normally had extensive training. The people running it have had extensive training, but there are other forms that they offer of training for the members. That's the structure that a lot of churches have. Let's get into the structure that Jehovah's Witnesses have, because the structure that the churches have, the downside of that is that your average church member may not be as knowledgeable because they may not be going to Sunday school. They may not attend. They may miss a lot of Sunday school. That's the downside to that. Is your average church member, they may only have the sermon and they may have enjoyed the choir, but a lot of the study they may or may not be attending. Now let's get into Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses, the structure is literally the opposite. They just look at the churches and just do the opposite, where your entire service is essentially Sunday school. Sunday, you hear what is called a public talk, and then you have, after that, Watchtower, which is basically just the same as Sunday school. You have a publication that you study out of on a continuous basis, but that's after the public talk. And then they have another service during the week, which oftentimes other churches have also. But this service that Jehovah's Witnesses have during the week is essentially just a big Sunday school. It's publications that they study throughout the course of the week. The majority of everything that Jehovah's Witnesses do is just Sunday school. Keep in mind, Sunday school, that type of education is a basic knowledge, a basic understanding. In most cases, you talk to a pastor, he's not going to tell you, I went to Sunday school for a number of years, and then I became the pastor of a church. Sunday school, just basic. Jehovah's Witnesses, what you have is a situation where people may look a little bit more knowledgeable than what they are. The reason for that is because with Jehovah's Witnesses, Sunday school, that level of education is a requirement. You have to attend. We can get into the shunning and everything else, and that's part of the reason why you have to attend. However, when you speak to the person that's giving the public talk, well, how did you get to be in that position? Or you speak to someone who is an elder. Well, how did you get to be in that position? Essentially, they have just attended Sunday school level training for an extended period of time. A person may be a ministerial servant or something to that effect, and they may have only attended that level, Sunday school level training for a few years. Really, when you get into a lot of the meetings that Jehovah's Witnesses have, little kids raise their hands and answer these questions because the question is just given to you by the publication that they use. This is not difficult. However, since you have everyone required to attend Sunday school, everyone has that basic level of knowledge about the Bible. The problem is that their leadership also has that same level of knowledge. They haven't attended anything other than basically Sunday school. That's the person that you have to go to for counsel. That's the person when you get into a real life complex situation and need to make decisions that will affect your life, your family's life into the future. You're going to someone who is the equivalent of just going to an average church member that's been a member of a church for a long period of time. They hadn't had any real other training outside of Sunday school. You're doing the exact same thing. It's just someone who has had a bunch of Watchtower studies, basically. Knocked on a lot of doors, and when you knock on a door, you're giving basic information. It's just someone who has basic knowledge that's been given a title by Watchtower. Because the structure of Watchtower has been set up where they want as many people as possible knocking on doors to get more members. That's the entire basis of the entire structure of Watchtower, is essentially to expand itself. So in order to do that, Sunday school must be a requirement. Once you've had that, you are now quote unquote qualified to knock on doors and get other people in. We don't really want to give no more training than that. We don't want to invest in anything more than that. All we care about is you get more people in here, and essentially that brings in more money. That's the extent of the entire organization of Watchtower, is designed so that you have had Sunday school so that, and it's a requirement, you don't have a choice, so that you can knock on doors. That's it. That's it. Other than that, they just hand out titles. They don't give any more real training. They just hand out titles. People have read the Elder's book. There's nothing in that book that is complex. You know what I mean? This is not seminary level training. Unfortunately, that structure is going to be very popular. Watchtower structure is going to be very popular in poor areas, because they're basically telling you, you walk in the door and you're halfway to being at the top of your particular congregation as far as the title is concerned. You walk in the door of a kingdom hall and you're halfway there to being an elder or a servant or having some kind of a title as pioneer or auxiliary or something to that effect. All these titles are darn near just given away. So if somebody's giving away free stuff, a poor neighborhood, they're going to be lined up. So you go to neighborhoods where it's a little bit more, more rich people live in that area. You look at the Kingdom Hall, oh man, it's about dead. There's like no one there. See, they don't need titles just given to them. They already oftentimes have good jobs. They oftentimes already are in a position in life where they're proud of it. They don't necessarily need somebody to pat them on the back because they raised their hand and gave a comment that a little kid could give. Right? Which is what happens when you go to the Kingdom Hall. You raise your hand, you give a comment on the Watchtower, which is very basic. Answer was right there in front of you. Oh, very fine comment. Oh, that was just so well said. It's a pat on the back for people that need pats on the back. Oftentimes because they come from a poor environment. They don't really have very much else to be proud of. I'm not making fun of them. I'm just saying, to be honest, you go to a poor area where there are a lot of, let's say, just poor people. I don't even think it matters if they're African American, Latin or Mexican, or a white area. If it's a poor area and people don't have very much to make them feel good, what Watchtower is selling is, you don't need seminary. You don't need college. Just walk in the door and you're special. Just walk in the door, attend Sunday school. Basically, their meetings are the equivalent of Sunday school. Comment down below if you don't agree that the meeting structure of Jehovah's Witnesses, the difficulty level is not higher than what a Sunday school would be. To an extent, it's easier because I have attended some Sunday schools. All you have to do is study, easy material to study. Come walk in the door, knock on doors out in quote unquote field service, and you're halfway there. You now get what other people have attended school and seminaries to acquire, which is a religious title, that you're somebody in the religious world. You're a clergy now because as a Jehovah's Witness, you just walked in the door. There is a major problem with that structure. And the problem with that structure is that during the course of a person's life, they're going to need to do more than just knock on doors and raise their hand for really easy questions asked them in the Watchtower. They have real life decisions that they have to make. They have real situations that occur. They struggle with real life struggles, maybe addictions, different things that have happened to them. And they don't have anyone to go to. When you go to an elder, what do? Disfellowship you. They don't know nothing else to do. They're going to disfellowship you, or they're going to put you on reproof. They don't know what else to do. It's the freaking school janitor. Your elder is the freaking school janitor, and he's had the equivalent of Sunday school for a long time. That's the training that they've had. They don't know what else to do. So the problem with the structure of Jehovah's Witnesses is that people end up hurt, and they end up hurt bad. And that structure is designed to force people into doing door to door and bringing more people in. This is all it is about, is money. We have to force you to go out there, knock on doors, and bring people in. So that's why we have the shunning policy, where if you're not doing what we are telling you to do, if everybody's not doing the exact same thing that we're telling them to do, your family won't speak to you, your friends won't speak to you, you won't get this nice little title that we just basically give away. You see, that's the structure of Watchtower versus the structure of churches, where they don't have to force people to attend Sunday school. They're not going to shun you because you didn't attend Sunday school. They don't need to force people to go knock on doors to bring people in. It's not a cult. They don't need to do that. They've been established for a longer period of time. This is why we have so many videos on YouTube. We have so many accounts on Facebook, groups, Reddit, everywhere else. You're going to have more accounts of people being harmed in the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses than you're going to have accounts anywhere else, almost. Even though the Catholic Church is 10 times the size, Baptist Church 10 times the size, most other churches are 10 times the size of Watchtower, but the amount of people harmed by it is not going to be as substantial because their leadership has had far better training. That priest is most likely not an idiot because he's gone to college, at least. Your pastor is most likely has a decent amount of knowledge about the Bible because he's been to seminary, at least. That elder that Jehovah's Witness went to in order to try to straighten his marriage up, his level of training is the same as a Baptist that has attended Sunday school every week. The level has not been any higher than Sunday school. This person should not be telling you what to do in your marriage. Go open up the Bible and go to basic scriptures that someone that has attended Sunday school their whole life would know about marriage, but they're not going to know how to really apply that in a person's life because they're the school janitor. They hadn't made it far in life themselves. So how are they going to tell you what to do? They're just an electrician, and that takes up a lot of their time. They studied neutrons and protons and things like that. They don't know counseling, and they haven't had that kind of training. This is something that pretty much every former witness knows, and that's all those meetings are easy. You don't have to study to be fully involved with a lot of those meetings. But I doubt if you go to a seminary, you can just not study and just pass seminary. I've never been to seminary. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that the structure of most churches is better than the structure of Watchtower. What is the proof? You know a tree by its fruits. The number of people harmed because their leadership has no training whatsoever in Watchtower is through the roof. Almost everybody that has been through something where they needed someone to help them because it was complex and they went to an elder, the end result ain't good, because the elder, a Jehovah's Witness elder, is the equivalent of a Baptist who is a school janitor that just attended Sunday school. Let that sink in. None of these people are special. When you go to an assembly, a convention, thousands of people come. The person that's speaking to them, person has a title, but the person really hadn't had very much more training. If they go to any other church, they're just a regular person. They go to any other church, they're just a regular person. When it comes to the clergy of that church, when it comes to the teachers in that church, when they go to any other church, the only good thing about it would be that they're of a higher level than a person that has not attended any Sunday school. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Ex-Bethelite signing out.
Yeah, Dr. Jason Morrison, theologist again. I just want to say thank you for watching the videos, and I hope you got plenty of self-rediscovery and freedom out of it. If you watched it on YouTube, please share or like, maybe even comment. If you watched it on Facebook, like, comment, share. But most of all, get out and live. This isn't a rehearsal. You've got a one-off life. Don't let your loyalty and your faithfulness blind you to the life that you should be experiencing. Till the next video, thank you for watching, and bye for now.